what best prepared you for the challenges that you face? And maybe you could tell us a little bit about the challenges that you actually faced.
Is creativity, I think, is really important for children developing, growing. I think that's a very high in my list of sort of wishes for my own daughter. I have a 7-year-old, so the creative expression is not just to grow up to be a painter, an artist, but creative solution making, right? Creativity is, at my core, I'm a creative. I'm a poet and painter and writer. And I apply that creativity to creative solution making, and I don't call it problem solving, because I think your mind holds on to things when you say, I'm solving a problem. Then you keep seeing a problem and you keep going back in time. Instead of solution making, it's actually how you speak to yourself too, and the words you use to come up with solutions. Solution making is all about progress and moving forward and not being stuck on a model that you're trying to address in the past. It's like, let's try to look at it from a completely different angle, right? So shifting paradigm. I've written, different articles on this and posted them and published them about paradigm shifts, how it's important to be creative in business, in life, in everything you address and do. And so the things that have helped me in my own life are, I'm really organized. I'm beyond organized. And that is half the battle, half the time in your life, is simply being an organized person. Secondly, the creativity. And then being really insistent on clear communication. So whoever you work with, being really clear with your communication and checking back and making sure the person understood what you were intending them to understand. Because if there's a failure of understanding, it's the speaker's fault, not the listener's fault. It's because the speaker has no idea how it's being, received on the receiving end, and it's really important to make sure that it's received well. So I think those are 3 high priorities of to answer your question.
Sure, I'll go. I think that my response to this question is different. What set me up for the where I am today, my challenges that I face? I'm in a very male-dominant environment. I'm also 5'1", so most of the men I'm dealing with are also much taller. So there's that height issue there. And I think what has set me up to be able to never fear who's across the table from me is my father. For a Persian girl, I don't think I ever was told, you can't do that. There's never been a time where my father said, untori nashin, unless it was because I was doing something dangerous, Or all the stuff I hear. I hear a lot of this stuff. Don't do this, don't do that, that's not for you. Why aren't you doing this? From a very young age, my dad used to put power tools in my hand to the point where one time I actually really hurt him. He would put power tools in my hand and we would do projects. At age of 16, he literally comes home one day super excited. He's like, let's go. I'm like, where are we going? Let's go. We go to the airport and he goes, here you go. I opened up an account. You're going to be a pilot. I'm like, but I don't want to be a pilot. He's like, doesn't matter. You're going to be a pilot. Okay, I want to be a pilot. And those are, and those are the things that it's like, there was never a filter for him. I also have 2 brothers. I grew up with a lot of boys, and there's a lot of cousins that are boys, and there's my brothers twin brothers that are, boys. And there was never a difference. Like, if there was a challenge in the house, he would look at them and say, run. And he would be like, you better be faster than them, because you just got to run. You got to go. And so that was what I think has set me up differently in my life, is that I never had anyone in my life tell me that I can't. If anything, they always said, why aren't you doing more? Why are you sitting back? And so today it's really helping me.
some of that. My dad was one of the people that decided. Actually, I wanted to be a pilot, and I got accepted, but I was underage. And when I brought the paperwork, I told my mom, "Can you make his favorite dinner, so when we present the paperwork, he can sign it?" Because I wasn't allowed to go without my dad's signature. And the minute he saw that, his color changed. And 4 days later, I was on a flight, Pan American to come to US. So that's how I came here. But so I flew a few times, but just a simulation. But anyway, the challenges. What are the challenges? In my business, the challenges have been the social media. So social media and internet is as great as it is for everyone. It's also a place where you can get gazillion wrong information. You also are faced, if you do one little thing wrong, you've got the apps that are immediately starring you. So they're giving you a 5-star, 4-star, 2-star, 1-star. And so you can't have any unhappy client. Right now in our office, one of the things I train people is that customer service is the #1 priority. No matter how wrong they are, we still have to work with them because of the social media. So for the past, it was written that I worked 27 years in magnetic. Yes, I did 27 years before I did this, which is about 7.5 years into PAMA. So what we were doing before and the way we were running our sales and marketing and all of our work, that was the way that was running, was totally different than today. So we have been constantly reiterating how are we going to solve this situation, because social media can also work for you, but it can also be your biggest enemy. So how can you make this to work for you? So over the past year, I've tried multiple different ways that we could actually sell and market. We don't have a salesman out there, believe it or not. What we sell is by word of mouth. And in the old days, if you said to somebody that you're selling with the word of mouth, they would say you are an idiot. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you're an idiot if you're doing this. But that's what we're doing. So it's working. It's working amazingly. You just have to know exactly how. And we're constantly evaluating. That's why I told you, it's like a constant evaluation. You can never sit and say, I figured it out. No, you haven't. Because something else is going to change, and somehow you need to constantly you have to run with this current. Does that make sense? So that is the challenge that it never really stops. It's a continuous growth into it.